is the Crown Plaza Hotel in Rosebank, Johannesburg. Welcome to the Art Bulletin and thank you very much for staying with us. The 25th edition of the Standard Bank Jazz Jaw will once again introduce the new faces of South African jazz. Proceeds from today's concert will be forwarded to a scholarship that assists disadvantaged jazz students.
The Jazz Jaw started with humble beginnings in way back on South Coast Road, the Moon Hotel, when Darius Brubeck was still here. And many of our students, past students, have benefited from the Ronnie Bandonsela Scholarship. So the funds from the Jazz Jaw goes into that scholarship. And many great musicians, Feya Faku, Simnawana, Concord Nkabinde, Andile Yanana, so many great musicians, jazz musicians who are legends in South Africa now, basically benefited from the Ronnie Bandonsela Scholarship.
The much anticipated award-winning South African film called Felix finally premiered this week. The movie will be released in over 40 cinemas around the country on Friday the 13th of September.
The point about this movie is it is about a young boy determined to follow his dream to become a musician despite his mother's wishes that he should not because of her own experience. And what the movie shows us is how our children can take us on a journey that we didn't expect to go on. And it's because Felix is so determined to fulfill his dream to be a good musician that he allows the mother to lose all the bitterness about the late father, who was a jazz musician, who died from the good life and left her alone with these 3 kids. But he is able to kind of release all that bitterness and anger in her heart. So as much as it's Felix's journey, it's also the journey of his mother, Lindiwe.
Today, the Lucky Dube Band will host the Unite Against Being Divided show at the Baseline in Newtown. The show, which is a tribute to Lucky Dube, who was killed in 2007, will feature other outfits to include his daughter, the award-winning Nkuli Dube.
He has worked so hard, and his work has spoke for itself all over the world. Whenever I travel and whenever the band travels, we see it everywhere. The love is always packed whenever you perform, and you see that how can such a young man, as he would say, very young, he's very young, such a young man do so much all over the world. So yeah, I think he deserves it. He deserves it. This event, for me, it's a connection from mourning to loss, to crying, to all that. This is just coming together and meeting the fans and coming together with the band and just healing, all of us healing at the same place.
Yesterday, the Mamaza Dance Trio brought their innovative dance pieces Sing-A-Line to Newtown as part of the 2013 Dance Umbrella. The piece used a red line across the streets of Newtown leading up to the dance factory.
This project is called the Sing-A-Line. It's a project that we initially did in Antwerp in Belgium. And the idea is how to trace a direct line from a center, what is considered a public urban space, to another point which is a performance space, a theater or a cultural space.
We didn't know if this project would have a continuation or not. We thought at the beginning probably it's a site-specific project. But then many people got interest in the project, and that's actually the first tour we are starting to add up. We went to Ouagadougou, we are here, then we go to Lagos.
Or it's just a means of communication and of discovering.
The Evolution Collection is an exhibition by 2 respected ceramists currently on at Imbaya Sarai in Maboneng Precinct. After receiving great reviews and responses, they've decided to extend the exhibition to the end of September. Here's the showroom's curator and owner.
I always wanted to have a shop, a small shop, that I can have just small items that are like almost very close to my heart. And slowly we're trying to turn it into a gallery. We're working towards turning it into a gallery. But at the moment it's a deco shop that hosts and represents strictly South African products, handmade. We said, let's rather do this Evolution product so that we can try and launch both my daughter and Nick. It's been taken differently by different people. Some see it as arty pieces, and then some see them as pieces that you can use every day.
The winner of this year's Sanlam Private Investment National Portraits Awards was announced at Rust and Further in Durbanville on Wednesday night. These awards celebrate the best of original portraiture in South Africa.
KwaZulu-Natal artist Heather Gole Cunningham's portrait, titled A Young Man, won the first ever Sanlam Private Investments National Portrait Award. Gole Cunningham scooped 100,000 rand, beating more than 1,000 entries to the prize. The award aims to celebrate and showcase the best original portrait artwork in South Africa. Gole Cunningham's work will now be part of 39 other selected entries in an exhibition to be held at Ruston Frede until 8th of October.
The Durban University of Technology's Department of Drama and Production Studies is taking on Evita by Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber. The musical ends today at the Playhouse Drama.
This was wonderful. It catered for 60 students on stage. It introduced students to a very new working environment where they were on a big theatre stage, not the intimate little courtyard theatre stage that we have and run. Also, it was a way to teach them. We had a 5-day get-in for this particular production that was to get in paint the floors, get the sets in, get the students in, get the lighting in, have the students work on the set for a first time. So it really was training them to have a very professional approach to the theatre. For the first time, they had mics, which they had never used before. So there were a number of new things that for students was wonderful experience.
As the month of August, which is known as Women's Month here in South Africa, draws to a close, the Soweto Kliptown Youth Foundation is launching its inaugural Ekasi Street Theatre and Exhibition. The exhibition, which features the play Lindiwe, opens today.
The day will be quite exciting. As you've heard, that there will be Lindiwe, which is relevant also for our young women who are not exposed to such opportunities, to feel and see theatre. And we believe one or two at least can be able to change on that day. We'll be having games, indigenous games, where kids will be playing Bomuku, Jagodiketo, take them back and show them where do we come from. We'll be also having visitors coming from outside the country who will also come and see the true picture of South Africa, where we will be just playing in a free-thinking society. There'll be performances from our kids, because those are the people we're doing these things for.
From Crown Plaza Hotel Circle Bar out in Rosebank, Johannesburg, that's how we come to the end of today's Art Bulletin. Check them out on www.therosebank.co.za. Feel free to keep in touch with us by emailing us, liking us on Facebook, or following us on Twitter. Until tomorrow morning, it's a goodbye from us.